Primo cortomuso, ragazzi. Primo cortomuso. First cortomuso of the season. First victory in San Siro for the 2025-26 season, signed by Max Allegri. A typical Allegrian victory. Wow. Yeah, this has been a Mamma Mia match not in a good sense, unfortunately. Not in a sense like with the teams scored a lot of goals like Juventus and Inter. When was it? Yesterday with the 4-3 of Juve. But it's been a fun match to watch. There are so many things that, guys, we have to talk because a lot happened. I'm very happy because, of course, Milan won and we finally bring home 3 points. We have to talk about the Milan jersey. We have to talk about how important is Rabiot in this midfield. We need to talk about Modric, in my opinion, MVP of the match. Once again, after the match in Lecce. Okay? We need to talk about Magnan injury. We need to talk about how the hell is possible that Santiago Giménez missed so many goals. We need to talk about the ref. There is a million of things, guys, that we need to talk about. Red card to Massimiliano Allegri after denied the penalty on Kunku. Wow. So make sure to leave a comments in the video, in the post of the community, because not only I'm gonna read it, but tomorrow I'm gonna record a video reacting to those comments, a way to keep the community united and see, some of the comments, they're ironic, some of them they're funny, some people disagree with me, some people agree with me. That's the cool things about the community. So make sure to put a like and comment to this video, because tonight we are happy. As always, guys, we go really deep into Milan, but for tonight we need to be happy. We are 3 points. We got 6 points now in 3 matches. Okay, so with calm, let Max Allegri do his work. Now let's start from the beginning to do a quick highlights of the match for the people that actually didn't watch it, but they want to know the basic information. So Milan-Bologna for Milan was an extremely important match because, first of all, was the revenge of Milan-Bologna, the finale di Coppa Italia, lost by the Rossoneri in last May. Second of all, it was an important match because this is the first, let's say, big match of the season. I know Bologna is not Juventus, Napoli or Inter, but for the status that Milan it is right now, unfortunately, we have to call Bologna on our same level. So it's been a big match for us, mid-table team, right? You know what I mean. So unfortunately, this is it. So we understood that Allegri play always with this 3-5-2. Now, the things that change a little bit in the lineup was today we played with Rabiot. Okay, we play with Rabiot, Fofana, and Modric. Now he plays as a striker, of course, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Santiago Giménez. That we need to talk about him, of course. Now, it was shocking already for a lot of people. Why? Because Rabiot arrived 4 days ago in Milanello, and he's already a starter. Meanwhile, De Ricci, if you remember well, even the 2 matches that he played, Yashari, he never started anybody else. The only starter for him, he was Modric. Sometimes he changed Loftus-Cheek in the midfield, but he understood that Loftus-Cheek cannot be a midfielder. You need to play a little bit forward because you need to give him space to run up. So Rabiot, as soon as he arrived, boom, right away he played in a midfield. But what does it mean? That with Loftus-Cheek and Giménez, that means that our second best player of the team, well, now with Modric I don't know anymore, but well, let's keep calling for tradition, at least us in the community as a tradition, our second best player after Rafa Leao, Christian Pulisic, started from the bench. And this is, for a lot of people, it's been a shocker. And in my opinion as well, it's a shocking move because especially when Rafa is not playing even without Pulisic, it's a killer move. But I have to say, after watching the match, that I understand why Rabiot. Yes, if you watch the match, you understand that Rabiot was bossing the midfield with Modric. Absolutely bossing the midfield with Modric. I don't know how long they know each other, 3-4 days, but together already they had a great chemistry in between the two. And Rabiot was always the first one to arrive on the high ball. It was very hard to steal the ball from Rabiot. And Modric was always like a Pirlo style, always free and have a great vision and able to, you know, pass the ball, launch the ball, and so on. So the two combines really work well. Meanwhile, Fofana, I still is a bit shaky in my opinion, but we will see. However, in the first half, Milan started really with great personality, in my opinion. And it felt for the first 15 minutes a little bit Pioli's Milan. What I mean by that, they were really aggressive. Milan was really aggressive, and it was every time that Bologna tried a counter attack, both Saelemaekers, Fofana, Tomori, they were like really make sure that the counter-attack wasn't starting for Bologna. And unfortunately, on the first half, we got right away, not one, not two, 3 yellow cards. If I remember well, it was Tomori, Estupinian, and Saelemaekers, probably. Yeah. And in my opinion, Estupinian was, seeing Estupinian, I don't know if to trust him yet already with a yellow card. I have to say that eventually he did well because on the side he had all the time Orsolini, which is one of the best right wing in Serie A, and tonight Orsolini didn't play, so really well done by Estupinian. I have to give it to him. Also in the first half he hit a post, because after a great counter-attack of Milan, he was, I think, on the first half we hit one post, on the second half we hit another one, but it was one of the few actual occasion for Milan on the first half. But Milan was pushing, and I really appreciate the personality of Milan. And then Bologna slowly got the ball control, but it was a dry ball control. Didn't really, I don't remember Mike doing a save on the first half. The second half actually started with right away with the substitution, De Winter with Pavlovic. And I believe the reason is because Pavlovic maybe wasn't feeling 100%. Few minutes later, in the second half, also Mike Maignan had to go, and we have to play Terracciano, debut for the Italian goalkeeper in San Siro. Terracciano, if you remember well, it is the same goalkeeper in Milan-Fiorentina in 2011, where instead of, he made a mistake on the pass in minutes 81, and instead of doing the long pass, he pretty much passed the ball to our counter-attack that at the time was led by Rafa Leao and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Rafa got the ball, counter-attack, and scoring goal. Pretty much, keeping ahead of us from Inter, and then later winning the Scudetto. But that was a crucial victory and was from a mistake of the same goalkeeper called Terracciano. This is for the nerds, but then we got then there was a little then we got finally with the same lineup that Milan on the first half. The only substitution was De Winter for Pavlovic. Counter-attack started from Luka Modrić, pass to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek was important for him to play a game like this, because you can feel that Ruben needs to run with the ball in his feet, needs to create his own space and play as a second striker. That's his role. He cannot play in defensive midfielder. He has long legs and he has to run. And the counter-attack actually started from Modric, but they continued for 20, 25, 30 meters with Loftus-Cheek. He was pretty much alone against 3 Genoa defenders. He saw on the right slowly Alexis Saelemaekers, another MVP in my opinion, because tonight Alexis did incredible match as always. Passing to Alexis, he kept the ball, tried to dribble the defender, and then in the meantime, he saw Luka Modrić arriving. And with the first touch, Luka, boom, shot in the left corner of the goal. San Siro exploded. Super happy for Luka Modrić, 40 years old, maestro of midfield. The class is there, the quality is there, the charisma is there. The only thing that I'm not a fan of it, as you probably imagine, is the propaganda pro Modric. Of course, as soon as score, you can see on Instagram Fabrizio Romano posted, 433 on Instagram posted, the Sport Bible, the Football Bible, everyone propaganda pro Modric, and I understand it's fun. That's just my personality. I just hate generally the propaganda. It's something I hate. I'm happy to see a fantastic player, and that's it. I'm not liking. I don't wanna. I'm wondering for how long they're gonna milk that content. But hey, probably they know better than me. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, let's go back to the match. Substitution: Loftus-Cheek out for Pulisic and Ricci for Fofana. Ricci, as soon as he entered, hit the post right away. Boom. Gave a great assist to Santiago Giménez that missed the goal, and then following another goal miss by Santiago Giménez. That, guys, we need to talk about Santi, because some people did. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain it. We keep giving trust, no doubt, especially because a striker need to have the trust of their fans and of the team. But there are some fans that actually telling me, well, because Milan has to follow this. I mean, because he has to adapt to the style of Milan. Exactly. That's the point. He has to adapt the style to the style of Milan playing, not vice versa. Because tonight it was the two goals that he missed. He was clear, alone, in front of the goalkeeper. I said it again. The two goals he missed today, one was assist from Puli, one was from Ricci. He was completely alone in front of the goalkeeper. That is not possible that a professional football player playing San Siro miss these kind of goals. It's unreal. He needs time, yes, but also you need to fucking focus. You need to focus and score goals, because don't tell me that was hard to score. I mean, the goal is 7 meters. Maybe on the first one the ball was actually bouncing on the. Do you remember the one? Ricci, assist of Tomori with a great cross that I never seen Fikayo doing that kind of cross beautifully. He was alone, but the ball was actually bouncing, so he had to try to grab it with his left foot and try to score, and he missed it. On the second one, he was completely alone with assist of Pulisic. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Nkunku entered a few minutes later, and in my opinion create much more chaos. Nkunku in 5 minutes that Santiago Giménez in 85. Nkunku, you can see he got technique. He played 5 minutes, so we didn't see much, but you can see that Nkunku, Saelemaekers, Pulisic, they are very good with feet. They're very, very good. So I'm sure that some chaos he can create in the enemy defense, not in the enemy, in the opposite team defense. So great stop, but then in my opinion was a fault, was a penalty. I mean, especially watch the replay again, but the first push on Nkunku, it's killer. He literally fell. He was like trying to control it and score, but the guy pushed him away. The second one, eventually, I think there was a dive. Okay. And then the ref actually give him a penalty, the VR call him back and say, look guys, this is not a penalty. So if not a penalty, he should have given yellow card to Nkunku, that I believe he didn't get. The last few minutes, and this was what send Allegri to over the sky, because he literally throw his jacket away, face to face to the ref, face to face to the side ref. Allegri show, classic. We love him for this, right? Because he really felt the match. He really felt the match. The last few minutes was completely chaos. Completely chaos. But Milan was wise enough to maintain the ball controls, stayed on the ground, claiming a fault. So keep in mind, guys, just to give you a fun number to watch, if you're still watching the video, comment what I'm about to say, because this is guys, it's a stats that I find out throughout on the first half. Then we say that Milan actually it was playing better than Bologna. Look at that. Expected goals 0.28. Bologna 0.11. On the second half, Bologna had an expected goal of 0.06 and Milan 0.53. Overall, Milan got a expected goal of 0.80 and Bologna of 0.17. Total shots for Milan 14. Total shots for Bologna 5. I mean, in my opinion, I don't recall a big save from Terracciano. Not Terracciano. What's his name? What's the name of Ostia? Now I skipped the name. By Mike, I don't recall a big save by Terracciano. By Terracciano, I don't recall any of big save to say, oh wow, luckily the goalkeeper is there. If Giménez was scoring at least another goal out of the two and the penalty was given, this match, it could have ended easily 3-0 for Milan. And by stats, there will be nobody saying anything to say, oh no, Milan doesn't deserve. Because at the end of the day, Bologna kept, yes, more ball control, but the only thing they were doing constantly this cross from the midfield to try to get the ball in our area, in our box. But they didn't shot. How many times they shot Bologna in tonight's match? Look. 5 shots in all match. Milan 14. Come on, this is more than a deserved victory, in my opinion. More than a deserved victory. More than a deserved victory, guys. Very happy for the victory. Very happy for finding finally a great maestro in the midfield. Happy to find a nice solidity behind it. We have to be happy about this. There's going to be a massive test on next Saturday. We're going to Udine. That since the beginning of time, going to Udine, it's tough. Really tough. So we will see, because after that you got Napoli at home. So that's going to be a tough match. But going in Udine, I really hope that we can keep this victory, because Allegri, it seems in 3 matches, slowly fixing the goals problem. I don't want to talk too soon, but the expected goals are really low. That's impressive. That's impressive. Other than that, thanks for watching, and sempre Forza al Diavolo. Ciao.